Welcome in, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this week's recap of the Lansing Watchdog, your trusted source for small business news. As always, my name is Jacob Manning.
And I'm Kelly Saunders.
And Kelly, we're going to start this week by talking about a bill that we are supportive of that passed committee last week. What can you tell us about it?
The House Judiciary Committee voted on Wednesday to report House Bill 4582 to the House floor. This bill is sponsored by Representative Jerry Nyer. The bill would reinstate the open and obvious doctrine for premises liability. Under open and obvious, property owners cannot be held liable if an injury occurs on the property that a reasonable person could easily see and avoid. This doctrine is followed in most states and was in Michigan too until a 2023 Supreme Court decision. Since that Supreme Court case, more slip and fall cases are being brought up because they can't be immediately dismissed like they were before. Since these cases now have to go before a jury, cases are more expensive and time consuming than they were before. Many insurance companies are forced to settle winnable cases just because they don't have the resources to fight every one, which is also leading to rising liability insurance costs for business owners. If you've wondered why personal injury lawyers have taken over just about every single billboard in the state of Michigan, this is part of the reason why. We are grateful for the committee members who voted for this bill on Wednesday and are hopeful the bill will pass the full House in the coming weeks. Jacob, what can you tell us about the surprise supplemental budget bill that passed the House this week?
Yeah, so last week, Tuesday, Michigan's House passed bills that set aside $152 million for new runways at Selfridge Air National Guard Base. So this funding is said to be needed to accommodate the new fighter jet mission that will be coming to Selfridge in the coming years. The bill passed with a margin of 65 to 41 and was done by substituting the appropriation into an old Department of Military and Veteran Affairs budget bill. All but two House Republicans supported the bill, as well as a handful of Democrats, including the entire Macomb County delegation. A source in Governor Whitmer's office said that they support the effort generally, but that the move in the House was jumping the gun. House Democratic leaders echoed this sentiment, with Minority Leader Puri and Representative Menser, who represent Selfridge, saying that they support doing what needs to be done to bring the mission to Michigan, but that the vote was thrust upon them without discussion or even committee hearings. Defending the move, Speaker of the House Matt Hall said that the speed in the process was to ensure that the mission could be in place by the time that President Donald Trump leaves office in 2028, and that his goal is to have the bills passed and signed by the governor before legislative spring break. Now, Kelly, what can you tell us about a new candidate in Michigan's 3rd Congressional District?
The Michigan 3rd Congressional District is one of the districts that has swung most favorably to Democrats in the last 10 years. The Grand Rapids and Muskegon-based West Michigan District was previously held by Republican Peter Meijer, who later lost his primary race and was eventually replaced by current Congresswoman Hillary Scholten. Since she first won the seat in 2022, Scholten won re-election handily in 2024, in a year when President Trump won Michigan. This swing seat has caused the Michigan 3rd Congressional District to fall off the priority list for many Republicans. But a new Republican candidate in the race may change that. Terry DeBoer spent nearly 3 decades with Wood TV8 in Grand Rapids as a weather forecaster. She most recently was with Fox 17, but just announced last week that she would be retiring and running as a Republican to challenge Congresswoman Scholten. DeBoer says that her campaign will focus on issues like border security, reducing spending, and promoting patient-centered health care. Jacob, why don't you close us out?
Yes, we wanted to mention an upcoming event with a gubernatorial candidate. SBAM will be with Congressman John James on Monday, March 23rd in Oakland County. This is the final event in our Road to 2026 gubernatorial candidate series, and we also just wanted to take a moment to thank everybody who's joined us in these events across the entire state. We've had a lot of fun getting to connect candidates with you all. And if you're interested in joining us for this final event, you can go to sbam.org/candidate series. But that's all we have for you this week. Thank you everyone for tuning in to the Watchdog, and we'll see you next week.